Hey guys, this is Miss Tibaldo, and today we're going to talk about plant parts and how they support the process of photosynthesis. Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about is how we can actually break any plant up into two main divisions, and this is according to where that part of the plant lies in accordance to the soil line. Anything that we find below the soil line we refer to as being a part of the root system. Oops, that's an R. The root system. And anything that we find above the soil line, okay, is a part of the shoot system. Okay, so we have our shoots and we have our roots. Okay, and each part of the plant is adapted to help the plant perform the process of photosynthesis. So let's first talk about the roots. Now, how do the roots help the plant perform photosynthesis? Well, a big part of photosynthesis is that the plant needs water. And the roots are the location where water is absorbed. Okay, so water and other minerals are absorbed through the roots. I'm not writing so well today. And they're absorbed through the roots. This way the plant can then use it for photosynthesis. It's hard to talk and write at the same time. All right, so the water and minerals go in through the roots, and where do they wind up that they have to be used for photosynthesis? They wind up in the leaves. Okay, so the leaves are a very important part of the plant for the process of photosynthesis because the leaves are where photosynthesis occurs. So leaves are the location for photosynthesis. I write so much better on the whiteboard in class. Now, why are the leaves where photosynthesis occurs? Because the cells in the leaves contain a pigment called chlorophyll within the chloroplast in the cell. And the chlorophyll actually absorbs the sunlight that is then needed to convert water and carbon dioxide into chemical energy for the plant. So the leaves are the location for photosynthesis, and they are really like the photosynthesis factories. They're actually where photosynthesis occurs and where the sugar is produced. Okay, now the water goes in through the roots, okay, comes in over here, okay, and it actually has to travel all the way up to the leaves to perform photosynthesis. So it actually has to travel, in some cases, a really, really far distance. If you think about the redwood trees in California, that water that's absorbed through the roots travels a really long distance. And where does it travel through the plant? It actually travels through the stem. Now the stem, depending on the size of the plant, can be really large or really small. Okay, but the stem is the passageway through which water and minerals travel from the roots to the leaves. So the stem actually contains vascular tissue called xylem. That transports water from the roots to the leaves. Now the stem also has another type of vascular tissue running through it, and that is phloem. And phloem runs in the opposite direction. Okay, it doesn't run from the roots to the leaves, it runs from the leaves to elsewhere in the plant because the sugar that is made in the leaves sometimes gets needed in other parts of the plant. So some plants actually need the sugar in their roots because that's where they store their energy. Some plants store the energy in the trunk of the trunk of the plant. So that sugar does actually travel down from the leaves if it's not used up by the plant immediately. But there's also another very important function of the stem, and that is to hold the leaves up in order to reach the sunlight, in order to get as much sunlight as possible. So it holds the leaves up in order for the leaves to actually get exposed to as much sunlight as possible. If you've ever looked at a plant, pay close attention next time because those leaves are actually facing the sunlight. This way they can perform photosynthesis as adequately as possible in order to keep the plant alive. So if you think about it, all the parts of the plant, the leaves, the stem, the roots, the xylem, the phloem, everything in the plant is an adaptation for the plant to be able to produce its own food using energy from the sun, water that it takes in, and the carbon dioxide that it takes in through the leaves.